The Podcasting Dead is available on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Make sure to subscribe for more podcasts. And while you're at it, drop us a like. If you want to help support the channel and have access to extra content, secret contest, and more, make sure to search for us on Patreon. Patreon.com/thepodcastingdead.
Time to go check the mail.
Oh boy, it's that time, isn't it? I love talking to the people.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Some people, not so much other people.
Yeah.
But yeah, now's the time where once a week we answer your questions. I apologize for that music being so high. We kind of reworked some stuff here on the board, and I'm kind of relearning where everything is. But I'm Justin.
I'm JP.
And I guess it's time to get into it. I just got back from the beach, so, well, I keep saying I just got back. I got back like 4 days ago, but in my mind, I'm mentally not here. So we've got a week. We didn't do anything other than the Walking Dead podcast last week. So I guess hopefully we won't miss your question. If we do, let us know, and we'll try to get back to it.
You've got like whatever the reverse of PTSD would be, you know, like you're reeling from a really great experience. I don't know what you would call that.
True that. Like I'm getting back to the real world and realizing how much the real world sucks. All right, but let's go to the newest. And all right, I guess we'll just start from the bottom and we'll alternate. So let's see. Jeep. I'll start with her. And then we'll just go back and forth with Brianne's questions. Jeep says, I was sick a lot as a kid, and the sickest I've ever been is when I got food poisoning from a Chinese food place. Have not eaten Chinese takeout again because even the thought of it makes me sick now. I'm the same way with... I used to be the same way with Domino's sausage. I got really sick at a sleepover after eating Domino's, and I had a big chunk of like sausage from the pizza. Ew. And like it took me a long time before I could eat that. What food would you not eat even if you were starving? I don't think there's a food I wouldn't eat if I was starving.
Yeah, I mean, I've never like legit been starving, so I can't honestly answer that. I think you know that mayonnaise would be pretty high on my don't eat list, which I don't know how good that would do you if you were starving, because it's basically just like lard and egg yolk.
I might have some sugar in there that you need to give you some energy.
I guess it'd be something.
It's fatty. I mean, I don't know. There's something out there, but there's nothing I can think of off the top of my head that I would not eat.
God, dude, can you imagine that we're raiding like a convenience store and all we find is this just mint condition case of mayo, and like that's all we have to subside on?
Well, then we're going to go outside and dig up some earthworms and we're going to cake them with mayo.
Jesus.
I'm sorry, Jeep, but I don't think there's much. I mean, as far as regular foods, I mean, I wouldn't eat a tarantula, like those chocolate-covered tarantulas you see in other countries, or like whatever. That's something the thought of grosses me out. But then again, I feel like if survival was the case, I probably would do what I had to do. Probably eat JP if I had to.
I might be a little stringy, but...
well, you've gotten a little chunky here in the last year, so you might actually have better flavor.
Yeah, it might be some good marbling around the midsection.
Yeah, so we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, I'm bound to eat you sooner or later.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Yeah. If the zombie apocalypse is inevitable, then it's... See, this whole time you think that I'm the good guy, and you're the one that'll double-cross and kill me to keep yourself alive, but not realizing that it's just a facade I put up so that I could get the drop on you.
It's a double cross.
It's a double cross. Yep, there you go.
But yeah, oh, God. All right, Brianne McCann, 1 week ago, in honor of our Walking Dead show coming back on, I'm going to ask all Walking Dead questions this week. Have a good weekend, and thanks for the support, Jeep. So I guess I'll jump ahead to the actual first question.
Okay.
What were the 3 questions Rick asked someone before allowing them in the group?
Ooh, can I do it, please?
I got it. I remember 2. I
got
it. The third. Okay, let her rip.
I got it. I think how many walkers have you killed? Mm-hmm. How many people have you killed? Yeah. And why?
And why? Okay, the why wasn't.
Basically walkers, because everybody has to kill walkers, and then of course it's how many people, and if you've killed people, why have you killed people?
Yeah. She goes on to say, would you ask the same ones, or would yours be different? I think I'd skip the walker stuff. I mean, that's kind of like how many like flies have you swatted? I mean, they're out there. Obviously, you got to put them down.
Let's see. I guess that's a. I think one of these questions she asked you already, because I remember getting a little irritated because I'm like, what? I'm not allowed to pick someone to go into my barn of pleasures? Really? I'm pretty sure Brienne's already asked that one or something similar to it, but we'll get to it when we do. Brienne, I just want you to know, just because JP's the perv doesn't mean I don't like to have sex. You can ask me who I would like in my barn of pleasures, just letting you know I'm still here. Which the same ones? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't worry about the walkers.
Yeah,
as much as people. Point, right? I need to know, do we have a psychopath? I mean, and I guess the walker question, though, is not so much like you're worried about them, but like, would they be useful in a situation where you needed to take out a bunch of walkers?
Yeah.
I feel like that's why it's important, because if I bring you in and you've never killed a walker, then you might actually be, a detrimental to the group. You might be like the downfall if we ever get, swarmed by walkers. So I guess that's somewhat of an important question, but if I had to scratch one of the three, it'd probably just be the walker one.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I'd just be like, look, man, you pretty good with killing dead people, because that kind of comes in handy around
That's
here.
kind of all there is to do these days.
Right. Because, I mean, who's keeping count at this point,
True.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. During the lineup of Negan, who did you think would be killed before we actually found out? I think JP, Matt, and I had a really cool theory about Maggie being the one to die instead of Glenn. Like they were going to pull the old switcheroo, and we were going to see Glenn without Maggie, whereas in the comics, obviously, we saw Maggie without Glenn. I don't know, man. My head was everywhere. JP?
Yeah, I remember some YouTube video had me convinced that it was going to be Carl. Like from the way he was walking, shadows, like they broke it down so thoroughly, man. I was like, it's Carl. It's got to be Carl.
Carl Papa.
And yeah, it wasn't. So
no, part of me thought Abraham was on the line. Just I don't know. Part of me thought Abraham, but I don't know. It was I kind of jumped everywhere. I think for the longest time, though, I was pretty convinced that it was going to be Maggie, which then again, part of me was like, I don't know that The Walking Dead is dark enough to show us a pregnant woman getting beat to death with a baseball bat. So for a while, I thought it might be Maggie, but what really threw me off was when they take Carl's gun. It's a gun with Lucille carved into the handle. Mm-hmm. So I thought perhaps somebody was going to get beat to death, and then Maggie or Glenn was going to get shot, but yeah. I don't know. It was really difficult. Part of me really thought Daryl might be the one to take it because he was already shot.
God, I remember how tense that night was. Mm-hmm. It was a rough one for everyone.
Still, the worst mistake they did was that cliffhanger, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Killing Carl is probably one of the worst mistakes. I mean, I don't know. We could make a list. Top 10 worst mistakes The Walking Dead's made. But aside from killing Carl, I think doing the cliffhanger is what really turned a lot of fans off. I mean, I know a lot of people who were I know a lot of friends who never came back to the show after that cliffhanger.
Yeah, you're right. That's definitely when the tide kind of started to change.
They really should have not. I mean, you got to trust your fans, man. You don't have to leave us on a cliffhanger with, we're trying to get those ratings up, get people back. We all going to come back. We come back every season.
Yeah.
In season 5, we had a pretty dull series finale. I mean, season finale, it just showed Morgan walk around a corner and go, Rick?
Yeah.
And we all came back for season 6. We didn't need a cliffhanger. But anyways, we've already gotten into that.
Yeah, man. Speaking of which, just a little side note, I read that last Sunday's episode, the lowest rating Walking Dead of all time.
That's what they say, but even their lowest ratings are still higher than a lot of people's best ratings.
Yeah, I think I read it was still the highest rated Sunday night drama that week, this
and
week.
I don't get why they're going down. They're good. This I feel like season 9 really, I guess. Well, then again, I don't know. I've got several friends who left. Going into season 7, they were so mad about the cliffhanger, and then they just never came back.
Yeah, I know there's playoff stuff going on and like sporty stuff. I don't watch that stuff, but
well, you're getting down to the final, getting towards the World Series now. So I mean, it's lots of other things to distract from that. Yeah. All right, going on to your JP exclusive question, because apparently JP is the only one who likes sex. JP, take it away.
If I could have anyone in my barn of pleasure, it would be a sandwich with Victor Strand, and I would resurrect Andrea. Because if anything goes, my fantastical barn of pleasures, I always had a thing for that luscious, big four-headed Andrea, man.
Stupid decision-making Andrea.
Well, her strategy wasn't the best, but...
I mean, I will not say she wasn't attractive. She was a fairly attractive lady, but
then again, Maggie, man.
There you go. I mean, I wasn't going to answer because I wasn't asked, Brienne, but Maggie is...
Yeah. Maggie definitely has that more wholesome vibe, which would totally be great. Me and Victor Strand just corrupting the cannolis off of her. I don't know why cannolis. Anyway, but no, Victor Strand.
Isn't that a food item?
Yeah, I don't know. I went to.
Do you think
Irish.
She has those like up her sleeve or something?
Yeah,
You're gonna
she's
shake them out of
Irish.
her?
Cannolis are Italian. I don't know, man.
You got me all mixed up. All right, moving forward from that, what are you most looking forward to in season 9? Just a good season, right?
Yeah.
Just a great season. Just
Negan throwing down hard. Throwing down real hard.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I would like to see more Negan. I think that's probably what I look forward to seeing the most is more Negan. Negan starting to get away from this whole prisoner role and starting to become an asset to the group.
Yeah, man, and I don't think it's spoiling anything. It's been pretty headline news that Michonne, she's
she announced it at Comic-Con.
Yeah, Denai Guerrera is leaving, and I just hope they do it right. I hope it's a good exit. If they botch that, man, it's gonna really leave a sour taste in my mouth.
No doubt.
So even more sour than a Victor Strand's. Never mind.
You always take it there, man.
Well, he needs a bath.
Right.
That's all.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who was your favorite villain of all time and why? That's tough, man. I think for me it would have been Negan if
they didn't stretch it out so
if
far.
they didn't botch it quite as much.
The whole Negan thing should have been season 7.
Yeah.
Season 7, again, I've said it a million times, but for those just joining or haven't heard it, I'm telling you, the first half of season 7 should have been the whole them submitting to Negan and Negan running. And the mid-season finale, they should have decided we're going to fight back. And then the second half should have been them taking out Negan. Season 8 should have been where we got into the Whisperers and all of this stuff going on now. But they just Negan would be my favorite if they didn't stretch it out. There's something special about the Governor, man.
Yeah, the Governor was a good one, man.
He holds a special place in my villainous heart.
It's hard to call him a straight up villain, man. But I mean, Shane, he was a great foil.
Oh
for
man,
Rick,
yeah, Shane definitely. If you want to call Shane a villain, he's definitely one of my favorites. I love the way it went down, and I know they were kind of following the comics to a little extent, but I would have loved to have seen Shane separate and for him to be an enemy that returns.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he was more of a foil for Rick, I guess, than a straight up villain. Although Otis would probably beg to differ on that because he did straight up murder him. But yeah.
I don't know who. Like I said, I'm gonna go. I don't know. I really like Alpha, to be honest with you. I think she's a great villain.
Yeah, man. Alpha and Beta, they are making a good villainous team.
And I don't feel like it's stretched out or I'm getting tired of them. I'm just going to go with Negan for right now. I just would say Negan. Probably the one I enjoy on screen the most, probably Negan.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. Well, like I said, Shane's up there too, but it's hard to call Shane a straight up villain.
Right.
It's kind of like Magneto. I mean, he's like, fighting the X-Men, but at the same time, he's just got different ideology. So, I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a real tough one.
If you could, you asked the last one, right?
Yes.
If you could pick a community to live in, which one would you pick and why? Choices are Sanctuary, Garbage Land, or Prison. Oh man, you gave us the crappiest ones, really. I mean, I would love Alexandria. I would love the Hilltop. Would probably be my pick. I love the Hilltop, like big mansion. I've always thought having like a big house at the center of your little zombie apocalypse community would be a great idea. But
yeah, I mean, Sanctuary would be good if you were in like the inner circle. I mean, that would be pretty baller. I mean, pickles and bitches and all kinds of stuff.
Well, I'm imagining they're abandoned and we're just picking one to live in.
We're just
that's what I was thinking. I mean, we could do one of each. In my mind, they were abandoned. Which one would we rather live in?
So we're just stumbling across.
That would be. We can do both. So as far as the way things were going, not Garbage Land, because they all had to speak stupid and, look at Jadis's weird art and shit.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to go to Garbage Land.
She probably makes you like model nude for,
Yeah, I don't want to go to. I'm going to pick Prison because I would want to go to the Sanctuary. Like you said, if you weren't in Negan's inner circle, then that would suck ass crack.
Yeah, not to mention you eventually got to realize that the dude's a psychopath. I mean, he's melting
one
faces
wrong move, he's going to do something horrible to you. At least in the prison, once Rick finally accepted that Lori was dead and stopped running around like somebody on LSD tripping, it wasn't too bad of a place to live. I'm going to go with the prison. Because, I mean, you had the governor and everybody attack it and eventually fail, but I'm thinking about things that you could see in the here and now, not that you can see the future. I got to garbage land and I realized we had to talk like dumbasses and be like, speak low, you do. I'd be like, nope, not living here.
Yep. No adverbs sucks. Or pronouns. Or
you walk in and Negan's, like, oh, you're pretty, JP. You could be one of my wives. Yeah. And nope, not into that. So at least go to the prison. I'm Rick Grimes. Oh, this guy's fairly normal.
Yeah.
I see my dead wife. Okay, I don't want to live at any of these places.
Yeah, man. Like, if they had fortified it right, Herschel's farm wouldn't have been bad.
Oh, no, not at all. They just need to put some strong fencing around that
Yeah,
place.
like a lot of barbed wire. That that wouldn't have been too bad.
They should have had some kind of like fallback method too. Like had something out in a field, like away from the main farm, that if they ever were to get overrun, they could cut on and the sound would attract the walkers, you know what I mean? So if the farm was getting overrun, they could, I don't know, turn on this siren. And yes, I know you run the risk of bringing more walkers, but at least you could get the big herd of walkers away from it because that farm got overran quick.
Yeah, man.
All thanks to Shane, all over some booty.
Yeah.
And Lori didn't even really have a booty.
No, she didn't, man. She was flat as a broomstick. But
and something about it kept Shane coming back. So
yeah.
I mean, I have a flat booty too, so I feel you, Lori. But anyways, so I asked that question, right?
I think so, yes. So what were your initial feelings when they had Michonne hook up with Rick?
I didn't see it coming, to be honest with you, but I didn't mind it. Michonne's always been one of my favorite characters, and so has Rick. So it's kind of like Steve Carell said on The Office. It's like watching my kids grow up and marry each other.
Yeah.
And I was fine with it. Again, I didn't see it coming just because they hadn't really, led up to that. Like with Jessica, there was plenty of, flirtatious moments and all of that. And it'd have been like if Rick hooked up with Andrea. I mean, there was really no indication that they had any spark between them. And then they just start kissing. You're kind of like, oh, like we knew that Michonne and Rick were very good friends. But I mean, I just didn't know that there was any romantic. But I didn't mind it.
Yeah, man, it was great.
I love them both. I'm happy that they were happy, and they produced a lovely little son who sadly never got to meet Rick.
Yeah, just that first shot of them in bed, man, naked. Like Rick's hand is clearly on Michonne's ass. Like I was like, yeah, my boy. That's gonna be a good one.
My boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was shocked because I didn't see it coming. But once it happened, I was like, oh, yeah. Well, and two people I like a lot doing it. I mean, I'm happy for them.
Yeah, why not?
I'm gonna start using that philosophy in real life. You and you, I like both of you. Why don't you have sex?
Oh God, my mom's been like that before. It just yeah.
What?
Yeah, I've met people. Yeah.
Your mom has tried to get you to have sex with people. Like straight up, like, hey, have sex with this person.
Yeah, she had. Like, I mean, I was like spent. I was.
Oh yeah, well, I do remember you telling
for like
me
forever.
Yeah.
I mean, she was staying in an apartment on a job up in the northern part of the state, and she'd had a few, and there was this cute like Indian girl that lived in the complex, and like she was talking me up in ways that I'm really not comfortable discussing.
When he was born, the doctor said he had a humongous penis.
Yeah, that kind of came up a little bit.
She said he was very well endowed to be an infant. He was a little jealous. Actually, true story. Supposedly, that is, I was not. Apparently, it didn't last growing up, but I was told that I was a pretty well endowed baby from the doctor, which is kind of weird. Doc, why would you say that to the parents? I mean, if I had a little son and the doctor's coming up, first thing he's talking about, that's a big old dick hanging from your boy right there. You'd be proud. Why are you so infatuated with my son's dick?
Oh boy!
But that's weird. Yeah, I wouldn't want my mom talking me up sexually.
Yeah, it can be a little weird, but
he does this thing where he humps the peller and he don't think anybody sees it. But I've watched a few times, and let me tell you, his stroking motions, they're right on point. This boy is fucking good. Excuse my language.
When you're a weird single loner, mom's going to do what mom thinks is best. And
someone fuck my boy.
Yeah, it gets weird real quick. Oh, boy.
Here's $100. Fuck my boy.
Oh, man.
I don't know why I imagine your mom talks nothing like that. But, in this scenario, she kind of sounds like Kenny McCormick's mom from South Park.
Yeah.
Kenny. But anyway, so next. So is it my turn to ask this question?
Yes.
If Angela Kane continues being the awesome showrunner that she is, how many seasons would you like to see going forward? I mean, if the show's good, I hope it continues until the end of time.
Keep it going forever. If you can keep the momentum up, I'm all for it.
On season 25 of The Walking Dead, Rick returns. Don't make me shove my walker up your ass, Negan. This is my community.
It took a 25-year helicopter ride, and I'm back, baby.
I might be 84, but I'll tear some walker ass up. My God, can you imagine the shit Negan be talking about?
No,
Negan probably like have dementia sitting in a wheelchair. I don't know who this beautiful man is, but I'm gonna fuck him.
I'm telling you, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
Easy peasy. Well, another question for JP, because apparently JP is the only one who is getting addressed personal questions. This is going to turn into the JP experience. JP, ask your second question.
Well, if I would bang Alpha, not because I'm especially attracted to her, but I think it would avert a war. I think she'd kind of...
Don't worry, I have a penis. It's not like I like to bang things too, but go ahead.
Well, I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it exists. But no, I think if she came really hard, one really good time, I think she would drop all the Skinwalker stuff and just kind of be like, let's build some cabins and just kind of be normal people.
Mm-hmm.
But
all right.
Yeah.
Well, moving forward from that, how do you think the Rick movies will be? Better than the show or equal, and why? Probably better, because they're going to have a lot more time focused on like one story, not. I feel like they'll be a little bit better. I feel like they're going to get a little bit more special attention. And plus, we all just love Andy Lincoln, so really it doesn't.
Yeah, I've got high hopes for him. I mean, I don't know exactly who's involved with what. I guess Scott Gimple is like helming this thing up.
I don't know. Just push him out. Be like, Scott, yes, we'll give you credit. Now go get lunch or something and let the people who do good writing this show or steering this show, let them do it. Because I know you have a lot of different writers.
That's what worries me the most, is just who's going to be in charge of this thing. You know?
Scott Gimple's not known for making the best decisions. I mean, he's given us some, as much as we hate on Scott Gimple, I mean, you got to give the man credit. He has given us some great moments, but he's also made some awful decisions. I mean, I think that his advisement is valuable, but not letting him have the final say. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yep. Last one from Brienne, and you get to ask it.
All right, here we go. Will you be watching the new spin-off series coming soon, the one based off of Younger Group, 10 Years into the Apocalypse? New pics are out, too. Check them out. I'm sure we will.
I'll watch anything Walking Dead.
Yeah. And,
I mean, we're still putting up with Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah,
so,
if we can watch that last season, we can do anything.
All right, let's see. Dana B says, since you're both outdoorsmen, what's the worst bite sting you've ever experienced out in nature? Well, the worst sting I've ever felt wasn't actually out in nature. It was at a friend's house, but I got stung by one of those Japanese hornets on my thumb. Mm-hmm. That schnit sucked bad. It swole up really, really bad.
Yeah, man. I mean, for one thing, it's a bit of a stretch to call me an outdoorsman. I do enjoy the outdoors, but a dog bit me like right in my inner thigh, like when I was a teenager, man, and that hurt.
It's really weird. I haven't had much
close to my junk, so it was scary too.
JP is an outdoor enthusiast,
yeah.
And I would say, I mean, I'm not gloating here. I mean, I would call myself a little bit more of an outdoorsman just because, I mean, I spend a lot of time outdoors and in the woods. I mean, it's like my favorite place to be. But JP very much enjoys being there with me.
I do.
I just don't think he spends as much time learning like the survival stuff and all of that. But I've never actually had a terrible sting like out in the woods while on a hike or a camp, believe it or not. It's all been like around the house.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a hornet sting once or twice, but nothing to, stick in my mind too bad.
Dana says that she just got home from a 10-mile bike ride, sat on a yellow jacket. Ow, man. Stung no less than 6 times in my lady parts.
What?
Ooh, poor Dana. That sounds awful. I just imagine a yellow jacket stinging my willy. About a 3-mile trail ride back to civilization. Wow. So I'm burning one up, watching the cool. Wow. That is with an ice pack in my nethers. Pretty sure this is my word. Wow. Yeah, Dana. Oh, girl, I feel for you. That's
me too. Hopefully that's
awful,
better,
man. I hope that your hoo-ha's gotten a little better. Ow, man, damn.
Yeah.
I've never had anything like that actually out on the trail. I was actually talking to a friend about going hiking in the next weekend or two. We're making plans to go on a nice day hike through the mountains, and now this will be the time when
that's what'll happen.
Probably 100 times I've been, through the woods and trails and stuff. This will be the time where I'll get bit by like a moccasin or a copperhead or something.
Yeah, man. My worst experiences have just been with like poison oak.
Likewise,
right.
yeah.
I mean, it eats me alive.
The older I get, knock on wood, again, I'm probably jinxing myself. The older I get, though, the less I seem to be. If I do get what I think is poison oak or ivy, it's like a bump or two and it goes away. I'm hoping that I caught the worst of it when I was younger and I've built up a bit of an immunity because I've gotten it a lot.
Yeah, same here. It generally stops around my ankles. It usually, stops below the knees. So I don't know.
So moving forward to Eternal Wreck. Wait. Oh, well, you can ask that, but we've already answered that in his question, in the comment.
Yeah, we've got a Joker review up right now. And it's still on SoundCloud, I believe.
It is, yeah. So, you can actually, you know what, you could go ahead and ask Heidi's if you want, because that wasn't really one.
Okay, yeah. And we're probably going to revisit the Joker and do like an actual, like deep dive on it, because that was spoiler-free, the last one we did. But
yeah.
Anyway, Heidi, if you feel that something is wrong or unfair, would you say something about it, even if it gets you in trouble, or are you always trying to avoid conflict? I can't keep my mouth shut, but I usually have a good reason to say something, and it has cost me a lot. Friends, boyfriends, and one good job years ago, but I don't regret it. I mean, it's a double-edged sword for me. I mean, I don't go out of my way to, address the wrongs, but if pushed enough, stuff comes out.
JP, I believe, will go a little bit more out of his way to avoid conflict than I will.
I certainly will.
I've gotten better. I used to couldn't keep my mouth shut, but here, being in management and getting older, you learn to pick and choose your battles. Like I've had employees that every day there's probably something I want to say something to, but you just keep your mouth shut because sometimes it's just not worth the conflict that's going to come along with it. However, if I keep my mouth shut, even if I look calm inside, I am biting my damn tongue off.
Yeah, and sometimes that's the worst thing, to just let it boil and bubble up inside,
No, I think you should. I honestly, one of my friends, him, our mutual friend James, he is a very blunt person. Sometimes he seems like a rude asshole, but those are some of the best people to keep around you. They're always honest with you. If I asked him, hey, does this hat look stupid? I know if he says yes, it looks stupid.
Yeah.
We were at the beach and the guy was trying to be nice, so he said, "Stop by the grill. I want to grab some ice cream for myself." So he stopped by. We let him get ice cream. Well, he tries to be nice. He comes back with like 8 ice creams in his hands. I bought everybody an ice cream. Mm-hmm. He hands one to old Clardy, and Clardy gets it and goes, "I don't want this."
Oh man,
you're a fucking asshole, man. But I appreciate the, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like
it wasn't too long ago we had not you and I, but you witnessed a big altercation about something like that, about turning down food that's offered to you.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what he said. He was like, I told him I didn't fuss at him for it much, but I was like, you're an asshole, man. And he goes, pretty much what you said in your thing. He was like, dude, I didn't ask for it. I don't want it. And I would much rather tell you, I don't want it than, thanks, take it to the condo, pretend to eat it and secretly dump it out. Why not just say, I don't want that, and then maybe somebody else can have it? You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like I'm obligated to take something you give me. And I'm like, we just had this discussion at the studio not too long ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, very interesting. Good question, Heidi.
Yeah, good one.
Brian Akeem, any way I can get a shout out for my channel, please? Yeah. I mean, what is your channel, though? Is it just Brian Akeem?
I guess. I don't know. What's Brian Akeem up to on the YouTube?
I don't know. Let's go to his profile and see. I don't see much. Brian, is it your personal page that you want to shout out for, or is it another page? Either way, Brian Akeem, go find him and stay tuned. If we get his channel name, we're going to give Brian Akeem a channel shout out.
We certainly will.
Jonas Balili says, how did I forget this mail call?
I don't know how he forgot it.
I don't know, Jonas. How did you? Are you on the marijuana?
He might be.
He might have had a weed, and that's the problem.
He might have. Yep. I don't know.
You keep on chewing on Lucifer's lettuce.
Oh, man.
It's going to take you down the wrong garden.
It can do it. It certainly can, but usually you're too too, lazy to get to the end of the garden and just kind of chill wherever. But
Unless your dealer sprinkles a little angel dust in there just to keep you coming back.
Yeah, you can lace it up with some methamphetamine or something.
So Corey Andros, our good pal, asked lots of questions. So do you want to do kind of the Brienne thing? Oh, and there's a question to me. Someone asked a question to me. I am so flattered. JP, do you want to do like we did with Brienne, where like you read the first one, I read the second one, you read the third one, I read the fourth one?
Let's do a little skip rope.
Yeah, kick it off.
All right, what are you guys hoping for in this week's Whisperer-focused episode?
Well, what I was just hoping for was exactly what I got, to get to know the Whisperers a little bit more.
Yeah, and to not be bored to death, which I wasn't.
No.
So
I think some people got it mixed, and apparently I did. Apparently I missed it. Apparently there was a TV issue or something, but you did see Carol up on the ledge when you saw Alpha.
Oh, really?
I didn't notice her, and you said you didn't either, so it's weird that we both didn't notice her on two separate TVs.
Yeah.
But with that said, I think some people thought when we were saying, like, oh, we don't want them to, like, I loved the episode. I thought it was a great episode. It was a little slower, but I liked it. If they can I just hope that they don't get to doing too many, like, one-offs where it's just one story. However, to get backstory on Alpha and Beta, which is something we didn't really get in the comics, I'm digging it, man. Good episode. So I got exactly what I wanted from that episode.
Yeah.
What is your favorite month of the year? I prefer warm months, but I'd say October in connection for me. In contention for me, excuse me. Football, Halloween, The Walking Dead, solid month for sure. October is a great month.
Yeah, I like October. September's not bad.
It was a great month at the beach. Jeep was right when she said it was one of the best times to be at the beach. Oh, my gosh. During the day, tank tops and swimming trunks, and you're getting in the ocean and swimming, and you're out on the beach, and it's nice and warm and breezy. But at night, you're throwing on jeans and a hoodie. October's, like you said, a pretty solid month.
Yeah. I'll stick with October. That's a good one.
I'm going to
go.
go
Birthday month too. So
nice. I'm going to go with May is my birthday month, and I would say May or June, and it's not because of my birthday, because I love summer. I'm a summer person, man.
Yeah.
I love going to the lake. I love going to the beach. The only thing I hate about summer, I do still spend time in the woods, but I don't do as much hiking, because sometimes when it's 100 degrees and the humidity is like at 100%, hiking is damn near a death sentence. Mm-hmm. So that's my one down thing I don't like about summer, is the fact that I don't get to hike as much and camp. Nobody wants to go camping with you in the summer.
Nah, man, those bugs, the heat, the sweat.
But I would say October or June. I can't just, like usual, I can't just pick one.
Yeah, man, the freaking chafing, man. Oh, God. I'm powdered down with all summer long.
You know what's weird? Let me take both those back. You know my favorite month, even though I despise cold weather?
Lay it down.
December.
December.
I love
really?
December. It's magical. I love Christmas. I mean, I love it. I love the displays in the stores. I like how just for a little bit of time, people start being nice to each other. I love Christmas lights. I love decorations. You've been in my man cave. Mm-hmm. You know I have a bajillion Christmas lights down there. I'm going to say December, even though I despise cold weather. I will go with December. It's a very happy month, at least, for me.
Yeah, I generally don't like that. It's not that I don't like the holidays, man. There's just a lot of people I like to avoid, and not as many in the family as there used to be. But just the social get-together stuff, I'm not crazy about. But anyway.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
But
All
yeah.
right, what do we have next? What do you think about Maggie's return, allegedly near the end of season 10? Is it going to be near the end of the season?
I'm a little pissed if that's the case. I'll tell you what I think of it. I'm a little pissed that it's not earlier. Pay the woman what she wants and bring her back.
I mean, like, at least mid-season,
Right.
Like, yeah, if nothing else, give her to us at the mid-season finale.
We had Morgan show up and go, Rick, what if we have Maggie show up? And let's see, who's Maggie close to? I mean, they killed Enid. They killed Jesus. They killed Tara. Maggie's going to come back and have what if she's like, Michonne? But poor Maggie's going to come back and have no friends.
Yeah, just hanging out with Eugene, I guess. And she probably doesn't even really like him. So.
What is that song? All my friends are dead.
Yeah,
All my friends
Jackass
are dead.
#2.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be pretty much her theme song.
Which I don't know. Her and Daryl were pretty tight towards the end of her tenure.
That's when I hated Daryl.
Yeah.
She's like, we're going to show Rick whatever. And Daryl's like, yeah, we will. I'm like, shut up, Daryl. Go sit down and shut the fuck up. And now I love Daryl again.
She's going to come back and just taint Daryl, and he's going to be awful again.
She's going to come back and play with Daryl's taint. What? I didn't catch that right. She's going to come back and do what with Daryl's taint?
She's going to taint him. taint him up.
Does that mean she's going to, like, lay him down and rub her taint on his forehead?
That'd be all right with me. Well, in those circumstances, it'd probably be pretty smelly. So
yeah, that probably wouldn't be. They don't really shower as much.
Yeah, I was going to say in modern society, yeah, that'd be okay. But in that setting,
she's going to taint Daryl, so you think she's going to bring him back. Being as you, I thought you said she was going to do something with his taint. But so you're saying she's going to make Daryl evil again.
It could happen, but that suggestion could happen as well. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
And yes, I know, before you start like furiously typing on your typeboard, your typing board there, I know that Daryl was never evil. I just, they kind of spun him like
he was still a dick.
He kept turning on Rick for the stupidest shit. I'm going to blow up a sanctuary. Rick, you fuck off. He
was a major dick.
Then Rick's going to stop Maggie from killing, even though, yes, I know what Negan did, Rick is sensibly going to stop Maggie from, cold-bloodedly murdering someone in front of everyone. And Daryl's like, ride with me, Rick. I'll show you the way. Now we're in a hole.
Yeah.
I mean, I hated Daryl in the last few seasons. Luckily, with Rick gone, I feel like they've given room to actually grow the character. And I'm back to really liking Daryl.
Same.
But anyways. Justin, have you watched Big Mouth Season 3 yet? I haven't. It's on my list. I finally caught back up with American Horror Story. I've finished Apocalypse when that got on Netflix, and then I'm now watching 1984. I watched the El Camino movie. It was a lot on Netflix I had to catch up on. But Big Mouth, I got to still watch the last season of The Flash.
Oh, yeah.
I still haven't seen that.
Caught up. That's 2 episodes in. I need to watch that sometime today.
But Big Mouth Season 3, I can't wait to watch it. JP would love that show. As perverted as he is, I don't see how he could.
That's a Netflix show?
It's Nick Kroll, yeah. He was in Parks and Rec. He was the douche.
Okay.
He was the guy. They were the radio people that I hated because I was like, that's not how radio is at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was the douche, but he does it's basically, I think, his show. I think he kind of spearheads the creative part of it, but he does the voice of the main character and the hormone monster.
Oh, it's animated.
Yeah, it's all animated.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And it's a very adult themed show. It's all about kids going through puberty, and there's a whole episode about a girl learning to play with herself. It's kind of weird when you consider she's like a 11-year-old girl, but I'm talking a singing clitoris musical and everything.
Huh.
So yeah, it's kind of your show. You'd love it. You would totally be the hormone monster.
I'll have to check it out.
But yeah.
You guys go looking for skinwalkers yet?
I don't know if I'll ever go looking for them, but have
hopefully they're not looking for us.
No. I was messing with a friend of ours at the beach. She's terrified of skinwalkers ever since I told her about them. And, like, they just thought of them freaks her out. And, like, I was messing with her because when we went to the beach, it was like Halloween was kind of the theme. There was a guy walking around in a Michael Myers costume. It was kind of really awesomely creepy. And I was joking with her. She was already kind of creeped out. And I was like, I saw this really weird dog back there. It had kind of human-looking eyes and no tail for some reason. Like, just like not even a nub. Like, there was no tail.
Right.
And she's like, shut up. I know what you're talking. Nope, shut up. Don't start with that skinwalker bullshit. But I've not went looking for him. I don't really know how you go looking for him. But if I do run into one, I promise you I'll let you know.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll be around to let us know.
And that's true. If I go missing, skinwalker.
Yeah.
What do you think will make the first move? Who do you think will make the first move if Ezekiel and Michonne really do get together in this season?
I think it's going to be King Ezekiel, man.
He's on the rebound right now.
Yeah, he's out there hunting, man, trolling for butt.
Daryl stole my woman.
Yep.
I don't know why King Ezekiel talks like Sling Blade.
Well,
young Daryl hath stolen my lady and not even plowed her fields. King Ezekiel needs. Oh, man. You think King Ezekiel's going to take? Oh, it's a perfect segue back into the Barn of Pleasures.
Yeah, it could be.
King Ezekiel is going to come, Michonne. Let me take you. That's King Ezekiel for sure is going to make the first move. What he's going to do is be like, Michonne, we've both lost love. I don't know why I'm having trouble talking at the moment. We've both lost love last season. Let us go into the Barn of Pleasures and see what love is really all about. And then he's going to take her in there and shove all kinds of weird things inside her.
Yeah, and their braids intertwine.
Michonne's a tough customer, though, man. I don't think Michonne doesn't need a safe word. If Michonne doesn't want it to happen, it ain't going to happen.
No.
Michonne, please. I didn't ask you to put your sword there, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, if anything, you need a safe word from Michonne.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
What would her safe word be? She loved the cheese. Remember the cheese that she squirted in her mouth trying to make Carl laugh?
I don't remember that.
That was one of my favorite Michonne moments in the entire show. It's when she finally, because, when we first got Michonne, she was very much like almost like one of those feral children you find in the woods. She was just had been through so much. She didn't trust anybody. She was very vicious. She looked at you like a rabid dog. Like if you, well, not a rabid dog, like a scared, like just a very like animalistic kind of don't mess with me or I'll rip your face off. And then with that episode, we started slowly seeing her. I loved her and Carl's relationship. I really. Again, why did you kill Carl? Yeah. I loved Michonne and Carl's relationship, and that was where she really started connecting with Carl because they had went to the town or whatever and got in the picture. But that was when they were going to the town, I think. But she had gotten the cheese that you squirt, and she like filled her mouth up with it and was trying to be funny, and Carl was just being typical douchey little Carl. And
right.
That was one of my favorite Michonne moments.
Yeah,
when she really kind of warmed up, and you were like, "Oh, she's an awesome person."
I remember the episode, but not that particular moment.
She's just been through so much. She's a little rough around the edges when you first meet her.
Yeah.
But anyways, so Michonne, I think that Ezekiel's gonna make the first move.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I need that boo. Or like, do you think Ezekiel's gonna be like talking to Jerry? Be like, Jerry. Like, and Michonne turns around to do something. Have you ever noticed that ass?
Yeah.
I don't know why. If you watch Dragon Ball Z, for some reason, when I voice Ezekiel, I imagine I'm King Cold. I know JP's like, who the fuck is King Cold? But that's kind of how he talked, like, oh, Frieza. But yeah, I just imagine King Ezekiel talks like that in my rendition for some reason. He's like, Jerry, my friend, look at that ass. I see why Rick was tapping that. And then he's going to walk up and be like, Michonne, when's the last time you had to use that katana? Like the few minutes ago, literally just again. No, I mean in the bedroom. That's not very safe. I think Ezekiel's going to make the first
Yeah,
movie.
man, most definitely.
You have dreads. I have dreads. You lost love. I lost love. I need sex. You can give me sex.
I'm telling
Be
you, man.
mine, Michonne. It's really cool to see they're going back that route, though. Slight comic spoilers. Sorry, it happened 8 years ago or more. But Ezekiel and Michonne were an item in the comic. So it's really cool. We thought that was lost when Rick and her got together, and that wasn't going to happen. But now we're seeing it come back around. Yeah,
it's going to be awful if Ezekiel's performance is so weak. That's why Michonne leaves. She's just like, your dick game is so bad, I got to go off this whole show.
I got to go find Rick.
Yeah.
Rick just set the dick game standards so well that no one can please her in that way. So after Ezekiel is what she needs to realize, I got to go find Rick.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Daryl, I guess it's back to the Barn of Pleasures. Jerry, put on your tiger costume. If you listen to other podcasts, you know where that's from. Let's see. Wait, what?
Yeah, I was going to say pretty much answered that when we just came out of the Barn of Pleasures. So.
Yeah, they said now that the fear is over, is the Barn of Pleasure is going to fade away. That shit is gold. No. King Ezekiel will always be in the Barn of Pleasures. Jerry, God damn it, I told you to put your tiger stripes on. All right, let's see. Now, guys, chances Alpha murders someone in this week's episode. Really high, I think. She didn't, actually.
Yeah.
She almost got murdered.
Gamma is really the one who murdered the chick, I guess, right?
Murdered her own sister, pretty much.
Yeah, so, I guess no murder for Alpha this go-around. You guys hear about the video a guy took on a ferry off the coast of North Carolina with strange lights in the sky, literally in the middle of the ocean, nothing else around, and all these hovering lights in a mass in one area of sky. Cool stuff.
No.
I didn't hear about that, dude. We're going to have to look that up, man.
I would love to find it. And that's North Carolina's right there. That's what people don't realize when we say we live in Virginia. It's like, no, we live so close to North Carolina. Sometimes I don't know why we let North Carolina be a state. I was driving through North Carolina on the way back from the beach, and I realized I don't have much love for North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
Not every part of it. I mean, I like Raleigh. Raleigh's
Raleigh's
sweet.
cool.
Some sweet places in Greensboro.
Yeah, Charlotte's
but some places you don't want to go. Charlotte's really cool.
Yeah, Asheville, man. I love Asheville.
Asheville's cool, but the rest of North Carolina just sucks. But sometimes I feel like we are part North Carolinian because we're so close to it.
We've got a little bit of dual citizenship. So.
But yeah, no, we'll check that out. That's really cool, man. I'd love to see that. Thank you so much for all your questions. You and Brianne are really keeping Mail Call alive.
We love you guys.
Which we actually got quite a few regular questions. We got some on other videos we'll get to in a bit. But moving forward, Jovi Gal.
Our favorite keyword.
Yeah.
I should read it.
Wait, is it yours? You might be right. It might be. No, you read the lights, didn't you?
Yeah, I read the lights, but
I'll read Jovi Gal. Jovi Gal says 2 things. Is a dollar theater a real thing, like movies for $1? We definitely don't have that here. Secondly, are you guys planning to use the Patreon again anytime soon? The last time it was updated was in August. Well, if you go and look, we just uploaded the Patreon exclusive podcast yesterday, and we just were discussing at the gym how we were going to, if nothing else, start uploading at least a video or 2 a week and start doing at least once a week a Patreon exclusive podcast. Then we've scaled back. See, at the time we started the Patreon, we were doing 4 or 5 a week.
Right.
It was really hard to do anything else when you consider and factor in a baby, a full-time job, for some of us 2 jobs. It was getting hard. But now that we've scaled back the podcast to 2 or 3 a week, yes, we will be doing a Patreon exclusive podcast once a week. Don't forget, patreon.com/thepodcastingdead. For as simple as little as $1 a month, you can get some super exclusive content.
Yeah. And hopefully some merch soon. So, yeah, stay tuned and check out the Patreon. Just check it out, even if you don't get on it.
And Dollar Theater, yes, they're actually once upon a time, a few years ago, you could. But the thing is, they're kind of older movies. When I say that, like, so for instance, what's the movie? Joker. So in about 3 weeks, Joker will go to the Dollar Theater right before it comes out on DVD, or right when it's coming out on DVD. So you get to see it for like $2, $3. And I say $1 because it used to be $1, but the price has kind of gone up. But it's like $2, $3. But if you don't mind seeing it a while after it's come out, like my girlfriend and I used to just go up there and see what they had and go watch a movie. So I mean, like Suicide Squad. That's luckily I only paid $2 to see that.
Yeah, lucky you.
But that was one that we saw, and then like I remember a few days later, it was like coming out to DVD this Friday. So I mean, it was right at the end of the theatrical run. But yeah, basically $1.
Yeah. All right. Kim Younger, a mere 2 days ago. Mail call. Would you want the ability to hear the thoughts of people near you if you couldn't turn the ability off? No, that would be awful. I'm paranoid and I got enough voices in my head. I don't need more of them. So that's a no from me.
You don't have voices in your head.
Not literal
your own
voices,
voice.
but yeah, I mean
that would give people the thought that you were.
No, I'm not schizophrenic.
Right.
But no, just my own, nagging.
I mean, I'm not in your head, but I know that you've never mentioned. We've talked about some pretty personal stuff, and I've just never heard you say, by the way, I'm a bit schizophrenic too.
Yeah, that might would have came up.
That's tough. I hate that. I know I say that a lot. There's like drinking games where we say, I don't know. You could say that's tough is one. Every time Justin says that's tough, you drink. But that is. I don't really know how to answer. I mean, I've been one. In the Walking Dead world, absolutely, I would want that ability. Always. Because I don't care if it gets tiring, I would always want to know what my possible opponents were thinking. So if I meet you out in the middle of the woods and you're playing super friendly, I could read your thoughts and know if you had sinister, and then I could get the jump on you. But in a regular world, not really, because I feel like everybody thinks such negative things about each other and talks so much shit about each other that I don't want to hear people talking shit about me in their head.
Yeah.
So Walking Dead world, I would love it. Real world, I don't want it.
Yeah, Walking Dead world, I wonder, even though like the zombie brain is pretty basic, if you just hear like kind of like static or something.
Just hear like, fuck, I stink.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat this guy. Stop, buddy. What are you doing?
You know, what I thought about the other day, man? I remember you telling me a story a story you'd come up with a while back about how like, people get infected. I can't remember exactly what the
worm takes over the body, but the human's
still
there.
Yeah, man. Somebody actually put out like a local guy put out an indie comic that's kind of similar. I mean, it's just basic zombies, but just basically the guy's conscious to a certain point before he starts like eating people. It was a pretty good little story.
And I know that I'm sure somebody's had that concept before. I promise, Scout's honor, like when I wrote it, I had never read a zombie story where you were still conscious and in there. So I was thinking like, man, this is a cool little twist. It puts a lot more drama into it when it comes to like, 'cause, you always see in like The Walking Dead, and I get that it is hard to kill someone with a body that you love, but after seeing the zombie apocalypse and everything and knowing that they're not in there no more, I feel like it'd be easier. I was like, how hard would it be like to kill your mom when you know that even though she's not in control of her actions, she is in there. Like she's seeing and feeling everything you're going to do to her. So I kind of left it that way. It presented more of a challenge because there's a part in the book where they didn't know, and then they find out from someone who was in on the ground level research of these things. They actually find that out. And then it creates this entire new feeling because now you got people that once were killer zombie slayers and now they're very hesitant because they feel like they're killing people. But yeah, that was mine. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I rarely talk about my writing anymore. So when it comes up,
that comic reminded me of it. And like I said, it didn't go in that deep. It's just like your mind is still active to a point, and then it just goes all red. But anyway,
now this question I have seen asked on 2 videos. So not Julian YouTube or not Julian YT really wants to know the answer to this. They've asked it on 2 different videos. Hi, do you think that cannibalism is the answer to world hunger and overpopulation? I don't think so.
Cancel the other out. But
I don't think so. But what do you think the world would be like if it was? It'd be a place I don't want to live in. I can tell you that.
Well, that's basically like the plot to Soylent Green. It's an old movie from the '60s with Charlton Heston. Like you get to choose if you want to commit suicide. They put you in a theater and they basically just euthanize you. And you find out at the end of the movie, like a 60-year spoiler, that all the food rations people get, like on a weekly basis, is made from the dead people. So. So yeah, it'd be pretty dark world.
I wouldn't want to live in. I mean, if we're being honest, yes, it probably could help solve the hunger and the population problem. But that's just
who do you decide who's on
right.
The top of the block.
Then you're almost probably would want to. Whoever would be in favor of this would probably be thinking a Thanos mindset of like a lottery. I don't want to live in that world, man. I have a kid now. Just the thought that my kid could get picked and have to be slaughtered. So. No, we're humans. That is a very animalistic way to go about things. That's what separates us. We are animals, but that's what puts a little bit of a divide between us and the rest of the animal kingdom is we have conscience, we have thought, we have the ability to know that, hey, that's not cool. That's not right. So I don't want to, if that's the way the world was, I wouldn't want to live in it. I would go rogue and just live in the woods and survive with my family way away from everybody. And I would shoot whoever, came to my house with a fork.
Yeah.
Let's look at some other questions from other videos. Bear with us; we have to find them. We haven't done any of these in 2 weeks, so it's kind of just digging around.
Yeah, let me dig around a little bit.
Okay, mail call from Zeke. After watching The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 2, I wouldn't mind seeing an Alpha Beta spinoff series during the 6-year time skip. Thoughts, JP and Justin? Love from Australia. That's a really cool thought. I haven't even thought about that. Like showing, just kind of filling in how they came to form the Whisperers, how it went from being just them to this entire group of people getting others to follow this really whacked out ideology.
Yeah, man. Not to mention you've got Beta and Alpha raising a little girl, That'd make for some adolescent hijinks.
Seeing her trying to, it's like you see she meets this little boy and she's like, I like you. And then the next day she comes out of her, what do they sleep in? Like holes in the ground or whatever. Yeah. She comes out of her little burrow and his face is stretched out. And she's like, Beta. Yeah. And it's the crowd laughs and it's like the wacky family sitcom you didn't know you wanted. Let's see. Jeremy Tate says, warning, do not read this comment. Oh, man. Am I cursed now? Corey Andros says that we should totally do a 9/11 podcast. I think we've said before, right? We know that's going to happen.
Yeah, we've tiptoed it around it a little bit, but we haven't really dove in because that's another deep dive, man. That's like flat Earth, That's just
not Julian YT also left that comment on this video, but at this one he left at the end. P.S. I'm not a cannibal, so rest assured, Julian is not a cannibal.
Good to know. Good to know
that we know of. Let's see. Trying to find others. And plus, if you're playing it, somebody was saying they play a drinking game to where whenever we say, I don't know, because we both say that a lot, you take a drink. If you really want to get drunk, too, another one you can do is with me saying, what was I just about? What did I just say coming out of that? I just said, but yeah, or something. Anyways, yeah, that's a lot. We could really get people drunk with how repetitive we are. Let's see. That's it. Whenever I say let's see, if you drink, you will get drunk really quickly. But that's usually like kind of my crutch word, going from one thing. Like I'm watching one video and now I'm closing it out and waiting for the other video to pop open.
Yeah.
Let's go to this week's review of The Walking Dead and see if there were any mail calls. Okay. Just a bunch of people telling me that no, she was in the episode. Let's see. Going on down, excuse me. I normally would have this sorted out, but it's been a bit. I got an interview at 10:30, which is not too far from now.
Yeah.
I also have a live broadcast that's 3 hours long and starts in like 2 or 3 hours. So I got to, so I didn't have a chance to really chop these up. Did you notice how Beta asked Alpha not to sing? And that picture on the wall with his friend, I feel like the theory of Beta being a musician is actually true. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Definitely Eternal Wreck gives me that Zach Wilde feel. I totally could feel that. But that's the theory, is that there was a record store, and on the ground there was a record of a guy who looked like Beta. Yeah. Well, like Beta would look. We haven't really seen him unmasked per se, but unless you've looked up Ryan Hurst. But that's one theory, is that instead of an athlete, he was a musician. And
yeah, man, I could see him just being a big hulking Johnny Paycheck type guy.
I definitely see the Zach Wilde thing. Yeah. Let's see. I think that's about it. And one thing we said, not transgender people, because I'm sorry, they're
cis.
They're so right, cis. So apparently, cis people means you're not.
Yeah, man, I knew that. I just couldn't get it off of the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, I
cis people are.
It's so many things to know to not offend people that I can't keep up with them all. But yes, cis means not. So if you are either one and that bothered you, apologies. But we now know. Cis is...
Yeah, it wasn't out to offend anybody.
No.
Just couldn't remember the word.
Just couldn't remember. There's a lot of terminology, especially when you deal with the FCC. There's a lot of terminology I have to remember, so that just didn't make the cut. Dude, but now I've got it.
Being on the radio this past Monday, I was wondering, am I even allowed to talk about Columbus Day? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah.
It's a federal holiday, but it ruffles so many feathers.
Everything ruffles feathers, man. Jesus almighty. Which he was a genocidal douche from what people say. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that you got opposing views that actually it wasn't as bad as, but whatever. But I'm saying I do get why people would get like, screw this guy. But I mean, still, people they act like they were there. If that makes any sense, I don't know. Yeah. I'm not going down a rabbit hole. But what I'm saying is, people, you just say Columbus, and you have some people that will argue with you very. Like, well, actually, I don't feel like he deserves this holiday because, oh, cool, enlighten me. But then you got some people that's like, so you support mass murder, and you're like, whoa, slow down. If I don't know, educate me.
Yeah,
don't fuss at me for being ignorant. Will you hand me a paper towel? I am bleeding again.
Oh gosh, your finger?
It's where I cut myself on glass, and you bend that part of your finger quite a bit, so it just keeps.
Yeah, those are the worst kind of cuts, man.
Yeah,
it was
on glass.
I guess the
too.
worst would be a major artery, but those are still pretty bad.
Yeah, it's on the fold of a finger, and it was a glass cut, and glass always just has a special little tingle to it.
Yeah, dude, you need some liquid skin. Have you tried that?
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's basically like super glue. It's just it's an adhesive. You pour in a cut, and it closes it up. It just it works as a barrier.
That's some futuristic ish right there.
Yeah, dude, that's actually how super glue was invented, as a way to like bind wounds in war or something. And then
is that right?
Yeah, I'm pretty.
That's
sure
how super glue was created.
Pretty sure I'm right about that.
That is pretty awesome. Let me look. One last video, I believe. I apologize for the yawn. Okay, from Eternal Wreck mail call. Have either of you ever? Oh, we got a couple of mail calls on here. Cool. Oh. All right, and another question for Straight Up JP. So we'll get to that in a minute. Let's see. What do you think about the new Walking Dead spinoff show? Have you seen the images they've released today? We did. It looks really cool.
Yeah, man. It's like zombies, just growing into a bus or something, like all covered in moss and everything. Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool.
Have either of y'all ever played the Telltale Walking Dead game series? Yes, I have. JP, not really. JP's kind of watched a few minutes of the Michonne one. JP doesn't have. I've learned that JP does not have the attention span for video games.
No, I really don't. Well, like retro Nintendo stuff, I can still get into, but not really video games.
I think I've told the story, but the first time JP came to my house, I didn't really know what all he was into. And
right.
We were in an altered state of mind, we'll say.
Yeah.
So
you knew I was into that,
right? So we got that part right, but then I'm like, oh God, he might be bored. So I'm like, have you played the new Grand Theft Auto? And JP's like, no. And he had a PlayStation 4, so I thought he was up on his games.
I was trying to get back into it, man.
And I just hand him the controller. He's just stone driving around.
Yeah.
And looking back now, I'm like, God, I bet that was just anxiety inducing. Because JP's probably like, I don't want to play this game. I don't know the controls. I'm not into it. I'm bored. I want to go home.
To quote the late great Rip Torn, it was probably like watching a retard hump a doorknob.
Oh,
and again, that's a quote.
I mean, how does one even do that?
Yeah,
you have to be like up on your tippy toes, right?
Like trying to watch a couple of retards hump a doorknob. Brr. From Freddy Got Fingered.
I hate that movie.
I loved it.
I know you do. Also, no, a new one. This one's straight to JP. I guess JP's the only one on this podcast that enjoys sex or has any kind of sexual input. But Zeke says, JP, any advice for people who are fat like me and want to try missionary position? I tried it once, slipped, and almost crushed a woman.
Oh my God, I hate to hear that. I mean,
Never mind.
Just not every position's for every person. I mean, I think that's just what it breaks down to.
Get your. I mean, I know I wasn't asked, so may I please give a little advice, JP, since it's your Q&A?
Go for it.
Zeke, work on your arm strength. You need to really, really work up that arm strength because the problem is if you're a bigger guy, really, even if you're not even that big, unless you're just one of those extremely skinny dudes, you really don't want to lay on your woman, like that. So you want to get, though, at least not for an extended period of time. You can lay down for a minute and tear the ass up and then get back up. But you need to work up your arm strength. If you're bigger, you need to be able to support your weight so you can hold yourself up and then proceed to tear that ass up.
Yeah, just make your dick work for you.
Arm strength, my friend, arm strength. Get in the gym. Triceps, again. Triceps probably going to be more crucial there than biceps because you're in the push-up position more or less. So I would really work those triceps, but also work the biceps. So I know you asked JP, but hopefully that helps. I think that's it. Yep, I think that's it for mail call. If we missed your mail call, we apologize. It's been 2 weeks, so just drop it in the comments section of this video, and I promise you we will get it next week. Don't forget, you can leave mail call questions on any video, but the best way to be, to be assured that we will answer it is to put it on an actual mail call video. Also, you can send them to the Facebook via Messenger, or you can always send them to our email, podcastingdeadpodcast@gmail.com. Speaking of the Facebook, let me double check so I don't sound like a hypocrite, and let me see if we have any messages, any mail call questions here in the inbox, and then we will close it out. Any of whose work? Let's see what is.
Yeah, and by the way, we have a link to the Patreon on the Facebook page.
Yep,
always good to look at.
Nope, I think that's it. I think we are done with mail calls. So yeah, check out our Patreon. Don't forget, if you listen to us, but we've had people say, I wish you guys were on a streaming service, or I wish you were on anything but YouTube. Don't forget, we are available on iHeart. No, we're not yet on iHeartRadio. No. We're available on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and, of course, YouTube. So if you want to maybe listen to us and not eat up so much data using a video service, feel free to stream us.
Yeah.
But I reckon that's going to wrap it up, and we'll catch you Monday as we dive into The Walking Dead.
Oh, boy.
Episode 3 of Season 10. I can't wait.
I haven't seen any of the coming scenes or whatever, so it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't either.
Oh, you haven't either?
No.
Oh, man.
And I was on vacation. I was on vacation from everything last week.
I hear you.
But yeah, so we'll catch you on Monday. I'm Justin.
I'm JP.
And with the Podcasting Dead. Yee.
Huh?
What?
I don't know.
Why don't you?
When do I ever?
Yesterday.
Well, these socks are knotting up something awful.
Well, go buy you some good ones. Keep buying those cheap bullshit Walmart socks. Go get you some nice socks.
You were with me. I got these at Marshall's.
Oh, what brand are they?
I don't know, but they got Captain America on them.
Well, then they can't be. If they're not good, then that we need to let the captain know.
Yeah, if he's making socks, maybe you should look for a different line of work.
I don't know.
Maybe he's just designing the socks. I don't know.
Is the mic still on? Like if we stopped, right? We're still recording.